When speaking to others about the evolution of science and how certain individuals experienced the exploration of these different subjects outside as well as the inside, some even chose just psychology to chamber what creates the character of a mind, one mind. What I am running into is sometimes we forget how long it took and how many generations of our survival went into what generates the conclusion for our unified collective consciousness at today's level, ongoing forever, with past being what we have learned from, what we forget, what we continue to learn, forget, learn from, and continue to learn until we just know. One mind is speaking now. If you are using the evolution of psychology to define life, you will not. All you are showing us is what you found in yourself as one being. If a collection of beings try to decide what's inside that one mind, the book of one mind might read what it's like in all of those minds working together to describe one mind. That is a bit under the weather because you are one mind. So in order for you to be the real you need to be you, that alone, without the chambers for things that have used their skills to benefit them in ways that they may have knowingly or by proxy, because one of them didn't know, unknowingly participated with, and in this experience we call the mind. When you describe it like that and create the chambers, they become real chambers of thought that express themselves outwardly over time, also two sides of a coin, heads and tails. The coin is good. No side is wrong to be part of what it is. The difference is life has a way of random rolling. Even though we make our choices, I have the ability to choose my choices. That's great. Its choice to choose for me is there also. So you are essentially remembering not to speak for others when you come to the conclusion that I have. Now, I'm telling you, my results are mine alone, because they are. If I've done that correctly, I will not debate your findings with you at all, because they are yours. If they are yours alone, we are not talking about what is outside. That is not ours alone. That is a group effort describing one mind and its many chambers, to create all sections of a psychological spectrum that is unified at a collective level, past and future, which is the moment now. Now is a collection of those thoughts, remembering the individual will not do well to fight itself outside of itself for information that does not belong to one singular self, though it does. We had help creating these different areas outside and in these different aspects of what is living conscious life at every level. Everyone here has a spine if you are a hue of the man being. The light of this tree has a spine. That's what we're seeing. That's the way we described it for us being. We also described others as being equal to without spines, but as part of this book, it is not spineless, though it is. That book is a lot like life at that level, because life will tell you, without you interpreting anything, just as soon as you think you know something, because we didn't know before and we know now, means you just simply do not know. And it will prove you wrong every time you think you do. What is it? Well, that is the one that made this for us. What is this for us? The experience. And what does that mean? It means coming into yourself with these words. This is silent, not with theirs, but with yours. Just yours. So if you did that correctly, there are no words left. Because when has it ever been just your words in your very short, very simple life here as one person, one being, or any being in its very simplistic, most simple, unified being, that self. Yeah. Doesn't take credit for the past. Certainly not going to be all of the future, though you could say all of the ocean is in one drop and one drop is in all of the ocean. Yes, we get that at a certain level, but that chamber of the mind is talking to reality from a space that if it decided to, could argue with you here and would only further itself from itself to say that I've touched that, no fear. That's what you are, when that's not the truth. No, that's just a chamber. That's just a part of what you were, what you are, and what you've always been. That's inside you. And that's a psychology that built itself into a realm that believes it can be all things, and be itself also. Well, if that's true, I wouldn't be talking to you. You would be talking to me, and I would not be needing this conversation to happen with that, so we wouldn't be saying anything. Then also, no words. That is the conclusion. Not my own. I didn't make that. But it did, and they did, and you still play with those words as if they are your own, and you just know it's the truth. You don't. So until you do, I don't want to hear those words. I want to hear your words speaking like I do with my words about those words at a level that helps our words come together to work together with those words so that my words don't have to fight with your words because your words are those words not talking to me the way that I want to be talked to when those words want to fight me for taking those words and making individuals out of us like we were supposed to do. So now we're having individualized and currently civilized conversations. Delicious. So, yeah, that's how you do that. What's happening? Well, the happening is happening. Don't think about it too much. Don't go into yourself with other words. Use your own words. And if you are, and you're hurting, and you still don't want to be here, then that's because in you there is something that you personally don't feel good about with these words, not my words, but your words inside yourself, that being the individual civilized with itself talking about the truth, has to realize it's wrong, be honest about it being wrong so that it can make it right. That's the first step. We're all wrong. But if you're going to be right about being wrong, we're not talking about it because you will never be right about what is wrong. Since you do not know everything as the all-being being, because if you did, you would not be talking about it. You would be that all-being being now, which is not talking about it. At my level, that would be at the level you want to touch with Samadhi, with Godhead Gnosis Satori. And you'll go there, you'll touch it, and you'll come back, and you go, look what I can do, look what this can do, look what that can do. Well, it's what we are doing. Everyone's equal to it. Don't pretend you're doing anything that it wasn't already doing before I got here now, because that has already been done. It is finished, was finished, and one being is one. Not 5, not 4, not 3, not 2. One is one being. It's one head. It is one. And I will not listen to something divided in itself to speak for others as if it is Godhead of the all heads gnosis of the Satori, to talk to me as if I'm part of their world as one of their own very singular heads if they have more than one good. I'm still not that also. 2 heads are not better than one. That is why. You're divided. And no matter how much you try, you will not take the original crystal, take something out of it because it's cracked in that space where magic is happening, to make a smaller replica of its original size and shape, to make a lesser version of itself, because eventually you will break into yourself, CERN, to concern yourself with what's in there, you will not have an answer when you realize it is the primordial soup that is talking to you now from the inside of my very beautiful conscious vessel, because it is speaking. If it was not, you wouldn't hear these words. I wouldn't be recording this. I couldn't hold my phone. Reality is talking there. That's realistic. It's of sound mind, and I am also one individual. Just like everything else. Not talking for the bigger self, because that's when you get in trouble. I'm talking for myself, reminding you not to go to bed with unfinished business. So if you aren't finished with that business, it's good to be finished with it now. So you may. That's how. You be the individual free from your guilt in your own way. You take that from yourself and make sure it's right. If you don't, that's when you fight yourself. If you fight others with that fight, you lose yourself completely. With nothing today. So do not fight. Do not curse your enemies on the way out. Do not plan for their death. Do not. That will save you from me. Certainly, it won't save you from saving yourself from something you would like to do with me, which is what I told you not to do just now. If that is you, that's okay. That's what I'm here for, also. To help you realize you are wrong. And you have to be honest about that. First step to get to the second step, which is the conversation we were having until just now, if you are one of those. We're still having it. You were just a bit uncivilized for the moment because you were expecting me to mess this up. I did not. I will not. I could not. So I won't. I would not allow myself to do that. Ever. For myself. And like that, I lead to be an example, not to lead the example, but by the example have been led. With that example, just like everybody else, not to go to bed with unfinished business because of the dead talking with us in our dreams, or however else, and in any other way that you find it, yes. That is them. You be you. Free from the information they wanted to manipulate you with. Your freedom said you're free. It didn't fight you because that's the gift. It's not here the way that we are because the joke's on us when we fight ourselves to pretend we can recreate what it was here. That crystal's already cracked. It's gone. Now I paint with these words because that means nothing to me. Life is not about crystals or glittery or shiny or any of the things you thought it was. It's about learning from what it's teaching you, paying very, very, very close attention to it, increasing your awareness of the universe like we do, being part of it like a mother with their children, and a father with the mother, and a family with God. Then you will see how well we grow together. That and everything you wanted is coming true. Your happiness is almost here, but it is here. You are the only one getting in the way of that. So choose to be happy, and there it is again. Now I'm happy for that, and I always will be.